Welcome back, everybody. It is Rudy with Alpha Investments. And, today we want to have a good conversation. It's been a little while since we've really had a good financial discussion conversation about what's kind of going on with a few things. And the most important thing that I probably haven't talked about in a while would be the local game store and kind of the environment of the small business when it comes to trading cards, Magic, and even the video game world. I think we're going to kind of start drifting towards a little bit more towards video games and vintage retro video games because the market's been pretty fascinating. It had a big uptick in the last few years when the retro world, the NES, SNES, old school PC, large box games, and of course with the resurgence of grading video games and all that stuff. But for this video right now, we're going to talk with the local game store, and we're going to make it real serious. And I want to address what I see coming and the good and the bad with it. Some of it, I think, is a little optimistic. A lot of it's kind of a little, shit, crap, what are we going to do? Because, I want to kind of step back and say, okay, in the last 20 years, this is the 90s. Let's say the birth of the trading card game world with Magic, Pokemon. Let's call it the 90s. From that point all the way to now, most of the money in game stores has been generated by pretty much two or three possibilities. And every game store takes a different path. So, you have to say, what's the best path now? What do we do? Because in the 90s, a lot of game stores were just like spawned and born from the Magic and Pokemon growth. A lot of sports card stores converted over to trading card stores and kind of hobby stores where a lot of kids would come in and play the actual card game, whether it's Magic or, hell, back in the day, the Hyborian Gates and Spellfire and, Vampire, Jihad, all these different card games. But it created a culture, an environment for a lot of people who didn't really fit in with that cool kid club, the cool crowd in the 90s. And it gave a lot of people a place to kind of say, wow, these are people like me. I like these kind of people. This makes me not want to just chop my head off. This makes me happy. This makes me actually want to enjoy and move forward with my life. And that's a very important thing. Everybody needs something that really gives them purpose and meaning and joy. And that's what the 90s card store hobby stores did. And we are so far away from that culture and that feeling of people enjoying and just thinking, God, I can't wait till Saturday. I want to go to my local card store and have fun, meet people, play the game. And now, let's look at the card store perspective. Let's look at the owner. In the 90s, these people made money by, quite frankly, selling the typical small stuff, the snacks and sodas and things when people showed up and sat and play. They would host little tournaments and usually things on their own. Usually wasn't really a lot of DCI sanctioned all this fancy crap. But the reality is that's what they did. And they made a little bit of money from it. But I hate to say it, most of the money that these 90s stores made was selling single cards and selling the sealed product. Like the spawn and birth of the 90s kind of local game store, that LGS, the backbone, what kind of popped it up in the air, which made it kind of go erect or up. I don't know. We're just going to go weird. What made it successful was the fact that they would get a booster box of Homelands in, and they would sell the packs for $1.50 or $2 a pack. And if Homelands had, what did Homelands have, 45 or 60 packs or something? They would buy a booster box wholesale from a distributor or Wizards Direct, and they would pay like $40 for a booster box. And then when they sold the box, they would literally net like $100 to $120 a pack. Like if they got $3 a booster pack for 4th edition or Ice Age, which was the most common, times 36 packs, these people would get $102 plus tax and everything. Some were selling it more during the boom. And, of course, some sold a quarter or two less if you bought in bulk. But still, they were able to purchase $30, $40 booster packs or boxes. And they were able to sell them in return $100. We're not talking a 5-10% return. We're talking an era where people were able to sell something and actually make enough money to create an enterprise, build a small business, the mom and pop, the local store, which is what took Magic from a small thing on the West Coast that just made it spread like wildfire because people loved it. And then all these little stores spawned all over the country that even people like me looked forward to going to on Saturday. We would beg our parents, at least I did, I would beg my mom to drop me off Saturday morning to a card store. We had like a bunch of them in North Florida. We had all these Xenos and Books and Comics Unlimited, hobby cards and World. I mean, there were so many of them. So even if you didn't like one or the people at one, you had like 4 other choices. It didn't even matter. But the thing was, these stores were able to get products. And they didn't sit there and just fear and panic that, I hope when I buy this new Magic set or this new Pokemon set, I don't lose my ass. I hope I don't lose 50% of my capital. I hope I don't buy a booster box and lose 20, 30% a box. And that's not really something that existed on the mainstream hobbies. Now, again, you always have the small independent card games, which are always higher risk. Usually you got them a lot cheaper, though, so the risk was higher, but you bought a lot cheaper, and your reward, your margin was a lot bigger to compensate you for the risk. But as far as the big dog, we're focusing on Magic, everybody. If you think about this, back then, these stores were just like, oh my god, how many boxes of Alliances could I order? How many boxes of Mirage could I order? How many boxes of Tempest or Urza, Saga, Legacy, Destiny, Mercadian Mask? How many can we get? Let's send in the order form to Wizards, or let's call up the distributor, or, But there was never a time where it's like, I'd like to, but hold on. It's the 90s. Hang on, guys. So, there was never a time where I said, hey, yeah, I'm interested in the new, it's called, I think it's called like Stronghold or Exodus. Right, I think, $45 a box wholesale, right. So can I get like 50 of them or 20? Well, I'm sorry. They said I can only get like 15 or 20. Remember, by the way, caveat, there were 10 boxes per case, not 6 back then. So, okay, 2 cases, 20 boxes. Okay, so after these stores would call these people, when they hung up, they never thought to themselves, okay, I got 20 boxes of Magic coming. I hope I don't lose $20 or $30 a booster box like in today's market. And that's the thing. That never existed back then. In today's market, there's so many products, even just in the Magic world, every month Wizards is pushing some new product out. And the risk level is so high, stores literally just say, I don't want anything. I'm gonna not go into this battle. I'm gonna sit this one out, everybody. And back then that wasn't the case. 3, 6, 9 months later, when another Magic set came out, everybody was excited. Everybody counted the days. Everybody was just like, oh God, just put that on loop for you guys. I should do it for some of you. And but now it's like, so there's a new set coming out, huh? Oh man. Do you see the difference? And this mindset moving forward is the reason why people who want to do a game store or a card store now, compared to the 90s when they grew up and they have so much good memories about it, it's not real. There is no connection to this nostalgic image everybody has in their head of what a successful little game store could be in whatever part of the country or world you're in, compared to what you believe when you were little to what is actually out there right now. And we're not going to discuss the big conglomerates, the gigantic Star Cities, Moon Cities, Channel Fireballs, Card Kingdom. These are just Goliaths. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about just standard mom and pop card stores around the country. And like I said, that is the number one, in my personal opinion, biggest difference in the mindset of why it was amazing to do this in the 90s and why in 2018, honestly, you're a MFing Timmy. You're a stupid human being if you really want to save your money for 10 years to get at least 10, 20, 30, 40. Honestly, I told you everybody. I told everybody from a year ago. No, I wouldn't even consider a local store unless you had 50 to 100,000. Period. No exceptions. That's my opinion. If I had to do anything over, if I was 15 years ago, if I was younger, there's no way. I would stay at my parents' house. I would wait tables. I would bartend. I wouldn't care. If I didn't want to go to college, I would just stockpile money, live underneath my, I would just live in my parents' house. Not everybody has basements. And I would just stockpile money. And if I was dead set on taking this path in life, that's what I would do. But the thing is, today, I can't think of any positive reason to tell people to do this. Now let's look at today's environment. Now that we've been rambling for 8, 9 minutes or something. Today's environment, every new product comes to Wizards. It's no longer, boy, I'm excited to get it. Now it's, I hope I don't lose money. Think about that. What an amazing mindset we've all come to accept around the country. I hope when I buy this product, I don't lose money. Isn't that incredible when you stop to think? That's how different things are. Back then, it was pure excitement. People were, people counted the days down. A midnight release, people were just so, I remember people in high school and college that would literally be like, dude, Rudy, come on, man, one more week, 5 days, 4 days. That was the hype. It was real hype. Not today where, how'd you guys do? Well, we only lost 3,000 an hour of Devastation. How'd you guys do? We made $50. How'd you guys do? We made 500. How'd you guys do? Oh, we blew out of the water. We got our boxes. We sold our boxes to the public for 110 a box. We made like 10 grand. Oh boy, you guys did good. Yeah, but a lot of people are pissed because the price tanked. Look at everything now. And this is a serious, one of the core pillar problems of what I feel the future of card games, trading, Magic, let's focus on Magic. This is one of the major issues I see moving forward. And the part that disturbs me more than anything is there's not a single comment or concern or even a point of action, body language, anything from the pretty much the cornerstone of the industry, which is Wizards. They are the backbone of the trading card industry when it comes to this. The Magic's the biggest. It is what it is, guys. And 2.83% women. And if Wizards doesn't care, nobody else is going to care. The whole rewards for store, the treatment to these local game stores around the country. And I remember, I'm going to put this out. There was a video like 6 months ago on YouTube, and I only saw it like a month or two ago, where Kevin from Rogue Deck Builder on his channel, really good guy. I met him in Las Vegas. He's a really nice, small town, just a good human being. He's a good person. I've never seen him do anything to make me think otherwise. At least I haven't seen it. Again, I'm sure some of you will disagree, but when I met him, he was a nice guy. I've watched a lot of his videos and his little market videos, and they're fun to watch. We play them when we ship orders all the time. And one of the things that stood out to me was about, 6 months ago, his store had a pre-release or some for whatever set. I don't know if it was Kaladesh, Aether, I don't know what set it was. And there was weather or some delay from Wizards where he couldn't get his pre-release. I don't know if it was the kits or the boxes, some form of pre-release product. And when he was talking to Wizards, they were just like, nothing we can do. We'll get it to you in a week. When the pre-release would be over, and the people are going to be like, well, why do we want to come after everybody else has done it? And it was and literally, I just remember very vividly to me, it was like this moment for me that Wizards literally communicated directly to a store that does nothing but support their product for years and just said, well, I guess maybe in a week or two, maybe you can do like a late pre-release after it's not a pre-release. And everybody's played the card game. And I remember thinking, wow, they really, truly don't care. And every store moving forward needs to understand that very clearly. There is no emotion in this. There is no form of, Wizards has my back. There's no form of other stores or distributors have my back thing. It is strictly ice cold business. And this is something that's not, I don't think anybody really wants to discuss this type of thing because it's not an enjoyable topic. This isn't comfortable for a lot of people when their goal and their life dream, one of their bucket list items is to open their own card store and make a living and have fun. And that's why people would say, well, Rudy doesn't even play all the time. Actually, he doesn't play at all. That's why we hate him. You guys have the people who are just very aggressive like that or passive aggressive. They have no idea about all the things really going on. And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe a lot of people shouldn't be aware because it'll taint a lot of the regular players, kind of their perception of the card game. And maybe that is not good. Look at everything going on right now. Quite frankly, are you serious? Wizards can't even have Magic judges do a fucking background check? Anywhere I go in the state of Florida, if I want to buy, a shotgun or something for home defense, it's $5. And the local dealer makes a profit on it. They charge $5 for a background check. It takes 10 minutes. It's not, and that's, the whole thing, it's silly. It just reinforces and shows that they just don't really want to deal with it. They just don't care. The people who are handling Wizards are focused on strictly margins and reporting quarterly earnings. And I'm here to tell you guys, in a long-term time frame, it's not sustainable. It is not a sustainable business model. And you can see that based on the erratic decisions, the backpedaling after they make announcements. You can see that based on the erratic movements of Wizards of the Coast. And it's very disturbing Because you would like to believe that somebody with that much money and power would really know what they're doing, be spot on. I mean, think about everyone's opinion around the country and all these things. And we don't have hundreds of millions and access to billions and budgets and capital. We're just regular people. And we can see a lot of these things, which means they can see it. They just choose not to act on it. And that's a very sad thing. And that's something that none of us can really do anything about. And, so when you look at these stores, if the stores are nervous to buy new products now, and stores are nervous to even order the products from Wizards, I mean, think about it. Let's pick on Amonkhet or Hour of Devastation. You can Google and go on eBay or, I don't know, all these, actually most major websites now. In the booster boxes, I mean, I've seen booster boxes on clearance for $80. Hell, $75 with shipping. And then most of them are like $85 to $90. And, a local game store, and everybody, I know what people are going to say, the same thing people said the last 5 to 8 years. Well, you shouldn't rely on selling sealed product to make a living. To me, that is the most hilarious thing I've ever heard. If you open a game store and you're a magic store, you shouldn't rely on selling sealed magic. It's hilarious. That's like Rudy's Tacos opening for business, and I say, well, guys, I mean, I'm selling tacos at a loss. You shouldn't rely on selling tacos in a Mexican restaurant. I mean, think about that. It's the most hilarious thing I've ever... it's like friends who work and own car dealerships. We aren't making money selling vehicles. You shouldn't rely on making money selling cars in a dealership. I mean, it's the most... But in the trading card magic world, it's like accepted. It's just like, you shouldn't rely on making money selling cards. It's this most hilarious little tiny sliver of the world. And that's why many people ask me, Rudy, why don't, with everything going on and your background, why do you choose to stay with this? Because it's a playground to me. And unfortunately, unfortunately for a lot of regular store owners, and fortunately for me, I'm in a very unique circumstance especially with YouTube and other sources of income, where I don't take the impact and I'm not really in that same sort of hamster wheel is a lot of these people who are doing it all day, every day, selling every little bag of chip and soda, which is important to them. Because they have to do that because you shouldn't rely on selling sealed magic to make money in a magic store. And, I just don't, I fully don't understand why people feel that way. And I don't understand the direction of magic. And I don't understand why Wizards is choosing to just let it be and not act or just really want to change things. And I don't know if they do, and they're just being very slow moving because they're a big conglomerate and it takes them a long time. But, when we look at the modern game store, let's wrap up this video because I'm sure it's getting long. When we look at the modern store, you say, well, Rudy, if you can't make money selling sealed product, you better start selling singles. Rudy, if you can't make money selling singles, you better buy collections. Rudy, if you can't make money in collections, you better sell soda, Little Debbie, and snacks, chips, and energy drinks. Well, so you're telling card stores, sorry, our magic products are being all losers and we're losing money, so focus on selling snacks like a gas station or 7-Eleven. That's the solution. No. Rudy, you don't get it. To be successful and be open every day with employees, you gotta sell all the snacks. You gotta focus on everything like the gas station. So everybody who has a passion for magic needs to focus on being a 7-Eleven gas station. That's the solution. And that's acceptable. That's the kicker of all this stuff. That is the acceptable solution around the country. No, Rudy, host tournaments. That's where you make your money. Okay, you can make a little bit of money doing that, I'm sure. If you want to have labor or a judge or this and that and host a big tournament, have an entry fee. If you actually want to give out good prizes, that means you got to have actually a good chunk of that money returned to the player base and the tournament base as a reward system. So if you really want to take care of the people and the players, which is what makes them come back, you have to give an ROI to that player base. Oh, wait, Wizards doesn't give good rewards. They don't really do a lot of that. They do just enough, a minimal amount. So, this was an interesting intro to kind of some of the things I've been really focusing on. I hope you guys enjoy this type of mindset. This is just something I've been seeing for just probably, it's been getting worse in the last 6 to 9 months. I even made a video like 6 months ago, one of the card shop videos. I think it was like card shop number 19 or 20. And I even said, a lot of people are wanting to open their own stores and do these different things. And I'm commenting to people that, I seriously, you just, until you're really in that grind and you really see the margins, the cost, and then what you actually make taking the risk on these products. And God help you. God help you. If you're a small store and you bought 20 boxes of Iconic Masters or 30, 40 boxes and you paid the $145 a box and, you can't sell them locally and you had to sell them online for a $10, $20 loss and you lose $1,000, $2,000 on a product. Or God help you if you over-ordered Hour of Devastation. And now they're sitting on your shelf and you have, 30 boxes and nobody will buy it unless you sell them at losses. And if you sell them online, you're going to lose like $1,000 again. So not only are you going to have thousands in overhead, thousands in labor, you have to actually engage in a business that you're going to lose money because the products are just being poorly executed. It's a very sad state. It's depressing. It's a very, I don't really have anything else to say about it. I'm just going to let it be at that. Didn't mean to end it on a down note, but, I'm going to make another one of these, and we're going to do like a round 2 here. And I want to kind of turn the second video into, now that I've discussed what I see with the sealed product, the store, the margins, telling people to be like a fucking gas station, that's your solution to sell snacks. I want to make another video where what I think it should be done, how I think Wizards should treat stores and stuff like that. So give me some feedback, and then I'm going to delay like a week before I make the second video. Tell me what you guys want me to address. Is there something I missed? I know some of you guys always have really good comments, and you actually address certain topics that I miss on it. Let me know. Thank you, patrons, for the support. I appreciate everyone. Thank you for watching this longer video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I thought this was pretty fun for me to make. I like kind of discussing and verbalizing this type of topic. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I hope you guys learned something. You guys have a good day.